Okay, what if you could take that constant flood of messages in your inbox, all those little operational updates, and have them automatically build a powerful real-time dashboard for you? Well, that's exactly what we're going to build today. A living data ecosystem that turns simple, everyday text into some seriously actionable intelligence. Let's dive right in.
We've all been there, right? You know that critical piece of information is buried somewhere in a sea of messages. A maintenance request for a pump on level 3 is in one WhatsApp chat, but the status update for it is lost in some email thread. It's just chaos. So how do you turn all that noise into a single, clear, powerful signal?
The goal here is to create a true command center. We're not just talking about a static chart that shows old data. No, this is a dashboard that actively works for you. It automatically gathers, processes, and updates everything in real time. This is where we finally bring some order to the chaos and see the big picture.
And here's our game plan, laid out kind of like we're growing a tree. First, we'll build a strong trunk. That's our data core. Then we'll connect it to its roots, which are all the different data streams. After that, we power the whole thing up with an automation engine. Think of it like the circulatory system bringing it to life. And finally, we get to watch our living dashboard bloom, showing us the fruits of our labor.
You know, every strong tree needs a really solid trunk. And for our data ecosystem, that trunk is a well-structured Excel table. I know it might sound simple, but this is the absolute foundation where all of our information is going to live, get organized, and ultimately grow from.
And you got to be specific here. Our Excel table needs these exact columns to work its magic. The date the issue came in, a clear description of the problem, who it's assigned to, its current status, and of course, our two big metrics, response time and the overall KPI percentage.
So let's zoom in on response time for a second. Why is this so important? Well, in operations, every single minute counts. This metric tells us exactly how long it takes to solve a problem, from that very first message to the final all done. It's a direct measure of our team's efficiency.
And the formula? It is as simple as it is powerful. You just take the end time and subtract the start time. And just like that, with some basic subtraction, we've turned raw timestamps into a meaningful key performance indicator. This is that brilliant moment when data really becomes intelligence. All right, our trunk is in place. Now it's time to connect the roots. We need to tap into the places where our information is actually born. In this case, our WhatsApp and Gmail inboxes. This is how we're going to feed our ecosystem a constant flow of fresh, real-world data. So check this out. This is a perfect example of a typical message. It's totally unstructured, it's conversational, but it has all the vital information we need. The real question is, how do we get this message from a simple chat bubble into our perfectly structured Excel sheet without anyone having to lift a finger? And this is where the magic happens. We use an AI agent. Think of it like a smart assistant that we can build with tools like Power Automate or Zapier. We've given it a really simple instruction. When you see a message about a maintenance issue, pull out the location, the problem, and the asset. So it reads the message, understands the context, and boom! Without a single click, it creates a brand new, perfectly structured row in our Excel sheet.
Okay, so the data's coming in. Now, let's talk about the engine that keeps this whole system running. To make this dashboard truly live, we're going to use two powerful tools, Power Query and VBA. Together, they create a kind of circulatory system that keeps our data flowing and our dashboard constantly up to date.
And here's how they work together so well. Power Query is kind of like the heartbeat of our system. It's constantly checking for new data and refreshing everything every 15 minutes. At the same time, our VBA scripts are the silent workers in the background, adding precise timestamps and even generating daily reports, all without any manual effort. Now don't get intimidated, but look at this single line of code. It's a tiny little instruction, but it has a massive impact. This one line tells Excel, hey, whenever a row is updated, automatically log the exact current time right here. This gives us an incredibly rich layer of data for analysis. It's a perfect example of how a tiny bit of automation can completely change your workflow.
And now, we bring it all together. Our data core, our connected data streams, and our powerful automation engine. They all combine to create the final product, a living, breathing dashboard that gives us a real-time, dynamic view of our entire operation.
Let's just trace the data's journey from start to finish. A message comes in on WhatsApp. The AI reads it and logs the issue. That data gets pushed to our Excel trunk. The KPIs automatically recalculate.
and our dashboard visuals refresh. It's a completely seamless, hands-off process that happens in minutes.
And all of that work, all that automation, it's all for this. A single, clear number that tells a powerful story. A 92% completion rate isn't just a number from last week's report. No, it's a live metric reflecting our team's hard work right now.
So let's just step back for a second and look at what we did here. We've taken the everyday chaos of scattered messages, and piece by piece, we've built an intelligent, self-updating command center. We've literally turned random chatter into a strategic asset that gives us instant clarity.
We've built the foundation, the trunk and the roots, but this is really just the beginning. Now that you have a living data ecosystem, the real question is, how are you going to make it grow? What new data streams will you connect? What new insights will you uncover? The possibilities, well, they're pretty much endless.